world leaders are in New York for the largest in-person United Nations General Assembly in over 2 years. The war in Ukraine will be taking center stage and the issues that the UN will be looking into. But during his opening remarks, the Secretary General was very blunt about how much peril is in the world right now.
Let's have no illusions. We are in rough seas. A winter of global discontent is on the horizon. A cost of living crisis is raging, trust is crumbling, inequalities are exploding, and our planet is burning. People are hurting, with the most vulnerable suffering the most.
National political correspondent Alex Miller tells us what we can expect from the General Assembly this week.
President Joe Biden set to speak Wednesday before the world as the United Nations enters its final stretch of one of the most contentious years in recent memory. The annual General Assembly takes place in New York City every September and brings world leaders from member nations together to discuss the most pressing issues. This year, the focus will primarily be on science and the war in Ukraine.
We meet at a moment of great peril for our world. Conflicts and climate catastrophe, mistrust and division.
Ukraine has been the focus at the UN for much of the year. The UN Security Council held more meetings in the 6 months since February than it did in all of 2021. Many focused on the unfolding Russian invasion. The Security Council will have a Ukraine-centered debate during the General Assembly after world leaders have spoken. The Council has been the focus of discussion since February's invasion, but had its hands tied as Russia sits as a permanent member of the Council and holds veto power. The only ramifications Russia has faced at the United Nations has been a suspension from the Human Rights Council, and even that was a closer vote than expected. The UN General Assembly president says the risk of a nuclear weapon being used is higher than it's been in 40 years. In his speech Wednesday, Biden is expected to appeal to the importance of Western cooperation when it comes to Ukraine, similar to his efforts in 2021 after a tumultuous pullout of Afghanistan.
Our security, our prosperity, and our very freedoms are interconnected, in my view, as never before.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will address the group in a pre-recorded video. Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend.
That was national political correspondent Alex Miller reporting there for us.